Hey friends, this is Kind Body Basics, and today we're going to be breaking down a movement that you can use with a household broom. No, we're not going to be cleaning or sweeping, but this is the movement I'm going to show you. You can grab your broom and you can try it as kind of a pre-test, if you will. So you hold the broom out in front of you, parallel to the ground, and then you try stepping one foot over and then the other foot so that the broom is behind you. And then again, you're gonna step back through so that the broom comes in front of your body again. Okay, so you might be thinking, why in the world do I want to break this movement down? Well, there's a lot of, that's actually a really complex movement. You've got spinal flexion, your shoulder blades have to move apart on your back. You have hip flexion and balance as well. And the closest real life application I can think of is putting your socks on. And isn't that something that we want to be able to do for as long as we need to be wearing socks? So this is functional movement for everyday living and a broom. So let's get started. To begin, we're going to take the broom in front of us with our palms facing the ceiling and just have a nice strong stance with your feet. Point your elbow creases forward in the same direction as the broom, and then you're going to lift your arms overhead as far as your arms can go, as far as your shoulders can go, and then bring the broom back down. And so I'm going to turn sideways to show you again. Inhale, lift the broom overhead. And you'll notice that I stop when my arms stop. So I'm not letting my back bend or my rib cage thrust to get the broom any higher. Exhale to lower. Keep your elbow creases forward, inhaling to lift, exhaling to lower. Continue at the pace of your own breath. A few more. Now, this time as you take the broom overhead, we're going to keep the broom up. And now slide your rib cage over to the right and come into a side bend, any amount here. And come back up. And then slide your rib cage to the left and bend to the left, any amount. And come back upright. Now let's lower the arms and put the broom handle side down on the ground. And so the sweepy part is facing the ceiling. Okay, you're gonna take a wide stance, hold the broom in your left hand, and you're gonna drop the broom so that it starts to fall to the right. And then you're gonna squat to catch it and stand up. Okay, so you're starting with your feet a little bit closer together. You're gonna drop the broom, squat to catch it in your right hand, stand up, bring the feet back together and take the broom back into your left hand. So again, you're gonna drop it, squat and catch, and stand back up, feet towards one another. So let's keep going. These are your ninja skills, so that when you drop something in the kitchen, you have the reaction time, the quick instinctual reaction to catch it. And you know, if your broom doesn't quite fall straight to the right, mine was falling a little forward before, that's okay. And maybe your squat isn't quite as deep as mine, that's fine. You can have a little baby squat and still catch the broom. But if you want to go deep, you can go deep. Just depends on how you're feeling today, how your joints are feeling, how much energy you have. Our bodies are different from day to day, and that's okay. Hopefully starting to feel your legs warming up. Maybe noticing your heart rate warming up. Let's do one more. Okay, now scooch over to the right. Hold your broom in your right hand. Feet are a little bit closer together. Drop the broom to the left. Left leg steps out. You bend and squat. Catch with your left hand. Stand back together, okay? Same thing. And you can just pay attention. Does this side feel more habitual than the other side? Or did the first side feel more habitual? You notice how your eyes play a role in your ability to catch. Your eyes are gonna go to the broom before your hand is gonna go to the broom. This could be a fun game to play with a friend or a partner. You could have them hold the broom in the center and just drop it for you, and you have to react and catch it in whichever direction they go or whichever direction the broom goes. And I'm not trying to discriminate. If you have a Swiffer, that's fine. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Great job. Okay, now hold the broom out in front of your body so that your thumb points up and you have your wrist in a line with your shoulder. And hopefully you can have a straight elbow with your elbow crease pointing towards the ceiling, okay? And so again, just a strong stance in the legs. And then you're gonna keep your rib cage and your spine in neutral and open the broom out to the left and bring back to the center. And then you're gonna switch your grip to the right hand and take your right arm out to the center, or to the side, I mean. Come back to the middle, switch your grip, trying to keep your wrist level at shoulder height and your elbow crease pointing up the whole time. And we're just gonna go back and forth here. And if you would like a little bit of an extra challenge, you can try doing this with your eyes closed. So the handoff there in the middle being kind of the challenging part, trying not to drop the broom, trying to keep everything locked in, wrist at shoulder height, elbow crease pointing towards the ceiling, rib cage in neutral. One more each side. So last one for the left here, and last one for the right. Great. Go ahead and bring back to center. Open your eyes if they were closed. And now we're gonna again hold the broom out in front of us. This time our grip is palms facing downward. And so again, the wrists are gonna come up to shoulder height, and we're gonna try to get those elbow creases up towards the ceiling. And then from here, you're gonna reach the broom away from you. So notice I did that with just my shoulders, my spine, my rib cage, my hips. Everything is still in the same place as it was. I'm just reaching my shoulder blades away from one another on my back, and that is gonna move the broom away from my chest. Then, to bring the broom back towards me, to undo that action, I'm gonna try to wake up those muscles in between my shoulder blades to pull my shoulder blades closer together. And that's gonna bring the broom back towards me. So again, just reach the broom forward. Oh, it's already feeling really hard. And then go ahead and squeeze the shoulder blades together. So notice rib cage is not moving. This is just arms and shoulders. And I feel like my left arm is getting a little bit more of the brunt of it because of the sweepy side of the broom is over there. So if you feel like that's happening for you too, you can feel free to switch sides. Now, one thing I want to caution about is shoulders up towards the ears, okay? So you want to keep your shoulders down away from your ears, and these upper trap muscles here on the tops of the shoulders, if you're having a hard time, if your brain is having a hard time communicating and waking up these muscles in between the shoulder blades, these muscles up here, your traps, are probably your like go-to workhorse muscles. They're gonna try to do the work for your rhomboids and lower traps in between your shoulder blades. So try and stay honest. Try to keep the shoulders down away from the ears as you go. And this is just like the scapular retraction push-ups that we do in all fours, except we're standing and using a broom. So we're gonna try to max out our range of motion at each end. So if you need to take just a moment to drop your broom, shake it out for a second. I know it's hard. It's hard for me too. So take your broom back out in front of you, really get the elbow creases pointing up, and now reach the broom forward as far as you can. Get the shoulder blades as far away from one another as you can. For 3, 2, and 1, and now squeeze the shoulder blades in. As far in as they'll go, without doing your rib cage up like this, okay? Keep your rib cage in neutral. Whew, that's hard. For 3, 2, and 1. Oh, go ahead and relax. Holy cow, that's hard. Okay, so we're gonna use the broom as kind of balance and stability here. But if that still feels a little too wobbly for you, you can come to the wall or you can hold on to a chair back as well. So one of the moves, or one of the parts of the big move that we're working on today, is hip flexion. So that's this, bringing your thigh closer to your torso. So go ahead and test out how much hip flexion you have. So if you just stand on one foot and you bring the other knee up to your chest, how high can you get your knee to your chest? Okay, so to show you from this side, I can get my knee to my chest this much without moving anything else. But if I want to, I can get my thigh closer to my chest if I do a little toggling in other places. If I tuck my pelvis under and bend my standing knee, I can get my knee closer to my chest, okay? But that's not just true hip flexion. That's your pelvis tilting backward and your standing knee bending. So go ahead and play around with that. Try it on both sides. How high can I get my knee to my chest? Just moving my leg. And then how much higher can I get my knee to my chest if I tuck my pelvis under and bend my standing leg, okay? So explore the difference in those movements in your body. Okay. Get a little closer. Okay. So now we're gonna circle out the hips. So hold the broom in your left hand. We're gonna balance on the left foot and we're gonna bring the right knee up. Make a fist with your right hand and radiate strong tension through your body. We're gonna imagine that we are circling the leg through cold molasses. So we're providing a bit of resistance to our body as we work here. So you're trying to eke out the total range of motion in your right hip by making big circles with your knee, okay? Going slowly and with intention, exploring what range of motion you have to go back behind you as well. Your leg can go diagonal, okay? And then let's reverse. Other way. Still maintaining that tension through the body. Going slowly and with intention. Clearing out the cobwebs in that hip. Just one more circle should be good. Really just need to do about 3 in each direction. Okay, go ahead and put your right foot down, and hopefully you felt your left hip working to stabilize you as you balanced. So now the broom is in the right hand. We're gonna balance on the right foot, bring the left knee up, left fist, strong tension through the body, and here we go. Making some big circles. Ooh, I popped. And really going with intention. Again, giving yourself a little resistance as you go. It's really going to help your brain communicate with your hip. Making sure that you're just moving at the hip. We've already explored how the pelvis and the standing leg can affect how much range of motion you appear to have. So really stay honest and just focus your attention at that hip. And let's reverse. One more. And relax. Shake it out. You got it. Okay, let's go ahead and bring it down to the ground. Bring your broom down. And we're gonna sit with the feet a little bit in front of the bottom with the knees bent. And you wanna make sure that you're really balanced on your sit bones so you're not tucked under too far and you're not tilted forward too far. Find a nice neutral. And then you're gonna cradle your broom in your elbows, in the crooks of your elbows. And I have my right hand over my left wrist, and my left hand is holding on to the broom handle. So whatever way you can get the broom in the crooks of your elbows, that's what we wanna do. And then tune into your rib cage, mellow out your rib cage, and lean back. So hopefully already feeling your core abdominals, maybe your core back muscles turning on to support you here. And now we're gonna explore how we can take the broom from side to side of our legs. So one way that we can do that is by moving our arms from side to side. I'm gonna try not to whack the wall as I do that. So I can take the broom from side to side just by moving my arms and keeping my torso in the same place. But now let's see if we can keep our arms static and rotate our torso, rotate through the rib cage in order to take the broom from side to side. So the arms are gonna stay stationary and the broom is gonna help the arms to stay stationary. And so you should feel your waist and your rib cage rotating here. So I like to use my breath. I inhale to come to the center and I exhale to rotate. For 3, 2, and 1. Okay, go ahead and extend your legs out. So I'm gonna put the broom down for a moment. And one of the things that we do in this motion of stepping over the broom is spinal flexion, okay? And so you can do this with your feet against the wall or with your feet against the foot of your couch or a table. Depending on your flexibility, you can also try holding on with the broom, but you'd have to have a lot of openness in the hamstrings and through your back to do that comfortably. So I'm gonna show you here at the wall. And if it is difficult for you to sit upright here and not feel like your pelvis is spilling out behind you, you're gonna sit up higher and higher and higher, maybe on a block, on folded blankets, on pillows, on a bolster, whatever it takes to get comfortable. And so your feet are gonna be about hip distance apart. And then you're gonna lean forward with your torso any amount. So that's creasing at the hips here. And then whatever range of motion you have to lean forward, then you're gonna pause and you're gonna drop your ribs in towards your spine and bring your chin towards your chest. So hopefully, if you are feeling a stretch sensation, it is somewhat distributed across the whole of your back body. By bringing the chin to the chest, we are taking the slack out of our back line. And that back line of muscle runs from the soles of the feet, the calves, the hamstrings, up the buttocks, up the back of the neck, over the skull, all the way to your eyebrows. So if you have a surprised look on your face right now, relax your eyebrows to take out all the slack from your back line. And as you breathe the next few breaths here, see if you can take a big breath in and expand your back. And exhale, let it out. And again, see if you can take a big breath in and expand your back. And exhale. Last one. Great. Go ahead and come upright. Woo. Okay. Let's go ahead and scoot back on the mat a bit. And we're going to come into all fours now. And we're going to put the broom, oops, I did hit the wall. We're going to put the broom kind of in the middle of the mat, okay? And again, in all fours, if it bothers your hands or your wrists, be up on your fists for today. And that way you can manage that discomfort and still do the exercise. So here in all fours, trying to get the elbow creases forward again. You're probably so sick of me saying that. And now you're gonna pick up your left knee away from the ground. Now, as you pick your left knee up, make sure that your right hip doesn't go out to the right, okay? So you wanna keep your right hip stacked over your right knee. And then you're gonna kind of lean forward and try to tap your left knee to the ground on the other side of the broom, and then step it back to all fours. And then the right knee is gonna go. So you're gonna pick the right knee up, tap it forward, and come back to fours. Okay, so you're just gonna go from side to side here. Now, if you are feeling like this is not enough of a challenge for your body today, and you would like a little bit more, step your legs back into plank, and do this from a plank position. So it's your choice, whatever feels good to you. Keep breathing. And I've heard that if you smile, it makes it better. Trying not to touch the broom with your legs. Whew. Sometimes you're like, I feel like the ground should be here already. For 3, 2, and 1. Okay, go ahead and drop your knees if they were lifted. And let's all take a break. Curl your toes under, send your hips back towards your heels. Stretching out through the feet. Take a nice breath in. Let it out with a sigh. Okay. And now we're going to make our way up to standing again. we are gonna try to hold the broom as we stand. So I'm gonna give like the broad directive to just stand up while holding on to the broom. So some different ways that you could stand up while holding the broom. If you need more support, the broom can help you, okay? If you don't need as much support, or maybe you need your hands, maybe you hold the broom in your fists and you stand up this way. If you don't need the support of the broom, then maybe you can lift it up and stand that way, okay? So that's a lot of different ways to try. So let's keep hold of the broom, come back down to the ground, and then get back up again a few times, okay? So just explore a few different ways to get up and down while holding the broom. I like this one, because then I get a little squat in. So experiment with some different ways of getting up and down without touching the ground with your hands, or just without letting go of the broom, okay? Okay, so here we are. We've made our way up to standing. Who knew it could get your heart rate up so much just getting up and down off the ground several times? So that's more incentive to sit on the ground as much as you can, because then you're just creating more opportunities for physical activity throughout the day. Take your broom behind your back and hold so that your palms face behind you, and get your hips right over your heels so you don't want your pelvis shooting forward or drifting back, okay? Feel your weight just over your heels, mellow rib cage, nice soft long neck, and then take your broom up back behind you and exhale to bring it down. Inhale to lift and exhale to lower. So see how your experience is with this movement and your breath in that particular way. So inhaling to lift and exhaling to lower. And now let's switch our breath pattern so that you exhale to lift the broom and inhale to lower it. So I don't know about you, but when I lift on the exhale, I feel like I can get the broom higher than I could when I lifted on the inhale. And I think that has something to do with the movement of the rib cage as you breathe. But everybody's experience might be different than that with that. So tune in to yourself, and it just goes to show you that if you did notice a difference, how important your breath is, or how powerful your breath can be in shifting your experience of a movement. Feeling those triceps. Last one. And release. Okay, so now we have the broom behind us. So this is like our halfway point from that step over and step back that we started with at the very beginning of class. So let's explore this space behind us. Sometimes it's easier for us to know what's going on in the front of our body because we can see it, and it's easier for our brain to see it. But so we have to do some deeper sensing to figure out what's going on behind us. So we're gonna hold the broom in that same position, and we're just gonna bend the knees and reach the broom down towards the ground any amount and stand back up. Okay, so this is just a squatting action. And the more you can get your tush back, the better for this purpose today. Getting the broom down as far as you can. Maybe you can get it all the way down to the ground. Warming up through the legs. Okay, so now go ahead and squat down as far as you can. Maybe you can gently place the broom on the ground, or maybe you have to kind of drop it a little bit. That's okay. Okay, so here, again, sensing what is going on behind us. So we know without looking that the broom is behind our feet. So shift your weight into your left foot. And if balance is an issue, please feel free to hold on to the wall or a chair. Shift your weight into your left foot, pick up your right foot, and step it backwards behind the broomstick. And then step back forward. Shift your weight into your right foot, pick up your left foot, tap your left toes back. You're kind of shifting your weight back a bit, and then bring the left foot forward again. Okay, so you're going to alternate shifting side to side, and maybe you go a little slower. If you feel really confident with your balance, if you feel really confident with where the broomstick is, then maybe you go a little faster. Okay, so it might seem like a really simple movement, and for some it might be a really simple movement. But there is just this mental note that there's something behind you that you're trying not to step over or trip over, right? I just stepped on it. Okay, one more each side, whether you're going quickly or slowly. One more, one more. Okay, now step backwards so that both of your feet are behind the broom. Okay, and so from here, you're going to shift your weight into your right foot, pick your left foot up, and tap your left toes to the ground in front of the broom. And then step your left foot back. Shift your weight into your left foot, tap your right foot toes in front of the broom, and step your right foot back. Okay, so we're going to go from side to side here. So maybe this is enough to focus on, okay? Doing this without falling over, maybe that's enough to focus on. If you have extra brain power, extra awareness to spare, then what I want you to think about is when you shift your weight over into your one foot, you want to move your pelvis down towards the ground on that side so that your outer hip fires up as you balance on that foot, okay? So you're going to create a little bit more stability on the outer hips. Trying not to look down if possible. Trusting our brains that they know where that broomstick is. Three, 2, and 1. Okay, go ahead and relax. Now let's go ahead and pick the broomstick back up. Okay, and so from here, we're gonna try with the help of the wall to see how far we can get our leg over the broom, because there are a lot of different factors at play in deciding how we step over the broom. We have a lot of options. So I'm gonna just rest my hips against the wall, and my feet are a bit away from the wall so that I don't fall over. And then I'm gonna shift into my right foot and bring my left knee towards my chest as high as I can get it. And then I'm gonna lean forward. So here's that flexion of the spine. And then I've leaned forward through my spine as much as I can. So now I need my shoulder blades to move apart from one another. So I'm gonna do that. And look, the broomstick is still not below my foot. So I need to bend my standing leg, tuck my pelvis under, and then I can bend my ankle and pick my foot up over the broomstick. Okay, but don't step all the way through. Then pull your knee back into your chest, retract your shoulder blades, put your foot down and stand up. Okay, so there's a lot going on there, a lot of movement. Let's do the other leg. Rest your hips back against the wall, shift your weight into your left foot. Okay, now bring your right knee to your chest as high as it wants to go. Okay, and then flex your spine forward so you're reaching. And then notice how much further you still have to go. And then you can reach your shoulder blades apart. Maybe you even let the broomstick come down into the crooks of your fingers. And then I can pick my foot up over the broomstick. But don't go all the way down. Draw your knee back in and put it down on the ground and stand back up. Okay, so if that felt doable, that even actually maybe felt a little bit harder than the real thing because we were going so slowly. If you would like to try again and see if your movement has changed or your ability to move and do this movement has changed, let's retest and see what happens. Okay, so I'm gonna turn sideways. So I'm gonna do my right foot forward first. So I'm gonna bring my right knee to my chest, flex my spine, spread my shoulder blades, step through. And then I have to reach my shoulder blades, flex my spine, bring my left knee to my chest, and step through, okay? And now I'm gonna take my left foot back, pick my left knee up into my chest, and I have to turn my knee out so that there's enough room to get my leg through. And then I put the foot down behind. And I'm gonna stand up a bit more for this side. Okay, so you can do it standing more upright, or if it feels easier, you can do most of the movement in that deeper folded position. Just think about, you know, how would I put socks on? Would you put socks on down here, or would you put your socks on up here? Both are fine, just as long as you get your socks on. So I stepped with my right foot forward first. This time I'm going to step with my left foot forward first. So here we go. Let's do the other side. This side's a little easier for me, I think. There we go. Okay. Woo. So to finish out, we are going to use the broomstick to give a little stretch for our shoulders and a little self-massage love for the base of the skull. So take the broom behind you and take your arms over the broom like you're in the stocks almost, and take your feet wide, wider than your hips. And you can kind of do a little swivel stretch here, a little swivel twist. And then go to one side as far as you can. And so I'm twisted to my left, so my right arm's in front. If I push a little bit with my right arm, it gives me a little bit of a stretch on the left side of my chest. Enjoy some breaths. And then come back through to the other side, going as far as you can in the other direction. And then the front arm pushes forward into the broom a bit, and that hopefully gives a little stretch sensation for your back arm, that side of the chest. And come back to center. Okay, go ahead and take that broom down and let's come down to the ground. And now I'm going to show you before I lie down where the broom is going to go. If you feel at the base of your skull, there's a little ridge there. That's where the broomstick is going to rest, okay? And if you are worried that it might feel like too much pressure, or if you get down to your back and you think, oh my gosh, that is too much pressure, you can apply the pressure in an upright position, just like this, if that feels kinder to your body. So I'm gonna lay down, take the broom under my head, and I have my hands palm face up under the broomstick. And I'm just gonna let my head relax back down, making sure that the broomstick is right up at the base of the skull. It probably won't feel good if you're down further into the neck, because then the broomstick might be, you know, just clunking on the back of your vertebra. So you can do a little gentle shake your head yes. And you can do a little no. And whatever feels nice, just for one more moment here. Okay, and we're gonna just take a moment for some deep breathing and gratitude. So lose the broom. And if you prefer to sit, you may sit. And just rest one hand on your chest, one hand on your stomach, close your eyes. You can let your knees fall in towards one another so you don't have to hold them up. And take a deep breath in through your nose and let it out through your mouth. Let's do that again. And as you exhale through the mouth, let the jaw fall open, let the tongue relax to the bottom of the mouth. Last one. And then just let your breath become involuntary. And while you're relaxing your body and feeling your breath, can you think of one thing that you feel grateful for about your body? It might be hard to find something, or it might feel really easy. Something might come to mind right away. It could be something from my body keeps breathing for me to I like the way that my eyes look. I'm thankful that my smile comes through my eyes. It might be I'm thankful for my legs and my hips for helping me to step over that broom. Find just one thing that you can feel thankful for with regard to your body. And now feel a really physical, felt sense of that gratitude. Maybe you feel a warmth in your heart, in the center of your chest, or a warmth in your stomach. Maybe you even visualize a kind of gratitude light shining within you wherever you feel that warmth. And as you continue to relax and breathe, can you feel, visualize, or imagine that that warmth that you're feeling, that light that you're feeling, is spreading throughout your whole body? Your gratitude is filling your body. Let your gratitude expand so much that you find the corners of your mouth pointing upward. Keep that expansive gratitude with you and channel your sloth nature as we slowly start to blink open the eyes and get ready to roll over, holding that gratitude, that feeling of thankfulness in your body, making your way upright. I hope that you can keep that feeling, that physical sense of your gratitude with you as you go about the rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you have a new relationship with your broom, and I'll see you next time to get moving.